It was a legendary night in the UEFA Champions League. 18 games played concurrently. And at the end of that, it was the final statement in the group stage game of the 2025-2026 Champions League season. And we saw some very interesting end to the Champions League season. First, let's talk about the biggest shock of the night, which is Benfica defeating Real Madrid by 4-2. And not only doing that, but I think the salt on the injury was the Benfica goalkeeper scoring the final goal that put Benfica in the playoffs and put Real Madrid out of automatic qualification. This was one that so many did not see coming. Let me ask. Normally, they don't fire interim coach. But at this point, I think they need to fire Belua.
Well, if you look at it, Abelua's position was not really defined actually, because I think I was seeing reports where they said his position right now is not a defined position. Is going to last till the summer. And at some point they were talking about, okay, if results for Real Madrid and performances do improve, it might not get to last till the end of the season. But then as the things is going right now, I don't think it might even last to end of the season, because they are out of the Copa del Rey, lost to Albacete, and
they are going to play playoff in the Champions League.
As at the time it took over the Real Madrid job, they were in automatic qualification spots, and right now they are out of the automatic qualification spots. And the fact that they just needed to avoid defeat against Benfica, and they were going to go through. Just needed to avoid defeat, and that was it. And if you look at the performance against Benfica, even Mbappe came out to say that performance was not it. It was not to write them about. And Mastantuono kept losing the ball. Raul Asensio, he just won one of his duels. Just won.
Can we put this down to the players so much, or to the coach so much, or we also need to give some of this blame to the players? Because sometimes, if you're a player or if you're a good team, it doesn't matter if your coach is not so tactically. Yes. I believe that the starting 11 of Real Madrid last night, even without a coach, should be able to defeat Benfica. I mean, they had every of their players. They had Mbappe, they had Vinicius, Mastantuono, they had their midfield, So even if it wasn't Abelua, even if it was somebody lower than Abelua on the sidelines, that starting 11 on paper should not have any issues going to the Estadio de la Luz and getting a win over Benfica.
Players needs to start getting responsible for their actions too, and which is why post-match conference of Mbappe and I think Bellingham that I watched, they were putting the blames on themselves and not the coach, because it's quite obvious. This is not. I don't think every coach is a coach match, anyways. But matches like this, with the quality of Real Madrid against the quality of Benfica, I think, like you said, with no coach, Madrid should be able to win convincingly. Now losing 4-2. No. That's a sort. Even if you look at the last set piece of the game, Vinicius, the likes of the Vinicius were just walking as if nothing is at stake. So, I don't. When it comes to the Real Madrid team, Abelua is not an excellent coach. He's just starting his coaching career, not as if he has proven at any point. But I still think it's not a matter of coach. These guys needs to up their game. Whatever is happening in that dressing room needs to be resolved ASAP if they still want to save their season.
Do you think bringing another head coach will make any difference? Because same problem with Alonso, same problem with Abelua. So how are we even sure that when you bring in a new coach?
Even same problem with Ancelotti just ran when he noticed the problem is looming. And,
So is it even a matter of coach, or should Real Madrid maybe get rid of some players? They have been talking about maybe getting rid of Vinicius, maybe. I don't want to be, I don't want to be an agenda person, but I feel like that dressing room never remained the same after Kylian Mbappe joined.
One thing is...
so maybe he should go. And the same thing, immediately he left the PSG dressing room. Suddenly there was a calm.
Yeah, there was a balance.
There was no rift. There was no drama anymore. It just felt like everything became calm at PSG, and the drama moved to Real Madrid. So should we start talking about maybe they should just let go of Mbappe? I mean, I'm sure if they offer Man City swap deal, Haaland for Mbappe.
Okay.
I'm sure Man City will jump at it.
Yeah, definitely.
Get rid of your problem.
Are you sure about that?
Send Mbappe out.
Right now, City don't really have a left winger.
The reason why I'm saying that
Send
about
Mbappe
that
out.
it's about Pep. Do you think Pep likes like that ready-made player in his team? Because we all know
He
that
went for Semenyo. Semenyo is practically
no,
ready-made.
you can't compare the profile of Semenyo to the like of Mbappe.
But he uses ready-made players. They bought Mahrez for him. They bought
All of
Sané.
those ones are still like local champion. Mbappe is a World Cup winner, World Cup silver medalist.
But then,
you know, all
Are you
of these
talking about
things.
his ego or his ability?
But then,
No, I'm not talking about it's not about the ability itself. The ego and the ability conjoined.
but then
Most
Pep
especially the ego.
has coached a whole lot of players.
I know. Pep likes to control his team, likes to control everything about his team. He doesn't like a player coming in and start showing a sign of rebellious. So in as much as immediately Pep noticed that thing, he used to sell those players. That was the issue he had with Aguero.
we're not even
He
sure
never
that
win with Aguero.
Yeah,
Yaya
yeah,
Toure.
so as
but
well.
we're not even sure that Pep will be at Real Madrid.
At
At
City.
Man City next
I saw that Man
So-
City at the end of the season.
So yes, that's that one. So I'm just saying that currently with Pep as the manager, I don't think Man City will embrace that type of a deal.
All right, another result I want us to talk about is Chelsea. Napoli 2, Chelsea 3. I know that when Liam Rosenau was appointed, it felt like the world just went on, almost like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of disrespect. Has this guy earned our respect? I mean, as Chelsea, I think he has had probably the best start to life as a coach at Chelsea. I mean, over the last couple of coaches that have, I mean, he has not lost a game apart from the Carabao Cup. You know, his first game in charge. He has really not lost a game, and he has gone through some very tough games, gone through some tough grounds, and gotten win. Does Liam Rosenau deserve more respect than we're giving him?
One thing is for Liam Rosenau, I think a lot of people are not really giving him credit for what he has done.
Because it's not a big name, because it's not a Mourinho, it's not a Conte,
If
it's
you look
not
at
an Ancelotti.
against Arsenal, I think it was expected that Chelsea was going to lose. But then the fact that Chelsea are still in the game against Arsenal shows a whole lot. Now they went to Naples, and let's not forget Napoli. They are very good in the Champions League. The only time they lost in the Champions League was when they lost to Real Madrid some years back. That was the only time they lost in the Champions League in 22 games. So
At home, in Naples, at the Maradona Stadium.
And let's not forget Chelsea. Last time they won in Italy was against AC Milan when their former grandfather was still in charge of Chelsea. That was the last time.
So they don't also have a good record in Italy.
They didn't have a good record in Italy, and then they went to Naples and then they defeated Napoli 3-2. They scored the first goal, went behind, and then they showed character, came back. João Pedro got 2 goals. I think the players, I think they are kind of coming together. They are playing very well now. And even Kopama as well got, I think, two assists yesterday as well. So, and let's not forget, they also asked him that, okay, is Kopama's mind still at Chelsea? And he said, Kopama is untouchable. His mind still at Chelsea. I think he has done a fantastic job at Chelsea, honestly. And people are not really giving him credit for what he has done. Yeah, a lot of people might say, oh, the clubs he has played with, they are small teams. But then, if you don't win the matches against these small teams, what's the guarantee that you can win these matches against the big teams? So, you win the matches against the small team, and then maybe against big team, you can start drawing or lose. Yeah. But then, if you are getting wins against the 3 points against the small team, it's very, very important, because against big teams, you can play big teams just, how many times? 2, 3 big teams, 4 big teams. But then the small teams, I think we have like more than 10 small teams in the Premier League. So that's what he's trying to do. Win these games, make sure you don't have any outstanding that you feel, okay, if you had actually won this, you'd get in this. I think that's what he's doing with Chelsea, and he's doing them very well. Tactically, it shows that he's actually a very sound manager when it comes to playing with Chelsea and using the Chelsea squad. So I feel for Liam Rosenau, he's doing very well, honestly, at Chelsea, and he should be given credit than his.
Now let's quickly, before we move on, let's maybe give credit to whom credit is due. The biggest winners on the night. Which one is thanking?
The best club in the world.
The biggest winners on the night, Liverpool. 6 goals to nothing. Wait,
So credit is due to Liverpool and we are leaving the top of the
You
table.
scored
The end of the
wait,
table.
consider
consider 2 goals
The
against
end of the table. A team that won 8 out of 8.
You consider 2 goals against the worst team.
No, that was
In the
we
Champions
played a charity match yesterday again.
Yeah.
We gave them 2 goals so that they will celebrate. You see the way they were celebrating.
Oh, really? Let's celebrate Liverpool. 6 goals to nothing
Celebrate grace.
at Anfield
Celebrate
against
grace.
Karabakh.
Celebrate grace. Celebrate grace. Hey, celebrate
Forget it. There's
grace.
no grace in 3-2 against Karata.
The end of the table. 8 out of 8. 8 over 8. 100%.
Liverpool was head of the table last season and
That
they
was
crashed out in the
Liverpool.
round.
No, that was
so
Liverpool.
that one no mean
That
much.
was Liverpool. Liverpool and Arsenal.
Okay. Credit to Arsenal. Can we move on now?
No. That's not the type of credit we want.
What kind of credit do you want? Consider you won 3-2 against Karata.
Shout out to my guys. Shout out to Martinelli. Shout out to Gyökeres. Shout out to Declan Rice, my coach.
Was it not
my
penalty?
defense. I love you guys. Thank you.
Can we move on now?
Yes, we can.
Let's give credit to whom credit is actually due. And that is Liverpool. 6 goals to nothing at Anfield. What a performance. Why can't they do this in the Premier League?
Well, like Gordon said, when Umar Katuba asked Anthony Gordon in the presser that what's the difference between the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League, and he said something that Premier League it's more physical. It's not like the Champions League. The Champions League, it's old school football. Teams come out more. So that's the difference between the Premier League and the Champions League, and I think that was affecting Liverpool in the Premier League too as well.
Even Tottenham.
No. Okay.
Tottenham was among the top 8.
Yeah.
And in the Premier League, I think it was
They are
16th
strong.
or 14th.
No.
So it offers the quality of the Premier League.
I mean, talking about the quality of Premier League, I think I want to bring it here. In the top 8 in the Champions League this season, there are 5 Premier League teams. Wow. 5 teams from the Premier League made it. That is domination. Only Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Sporting Lisbon,
Yeah.
made it to the round of 16 straight. 5 Premier League teams out of 8. This is what domination is all about.
Aside
It feels like the quality of the Premier League is far. I mean, PSG could not even beat Newcastle. What's going on here? Even Tottenham won their game last night. It's just like it was not enough.
Yes, now Vincent Kompany said something. He said in Premier League, a 20th position team has the same financial capacity as the first, and this is part of the reason why I think Premier League teams are looking more stronger and the league is getting more bigger. You can't imagine Leeds United and Barcelona bidding for the same player, and you'll be seeing Leeds United offering that player a better incentive.
Maybe the player will join because Barcelona is a bigger team.
just join the Barcelona probably because of Champions League and because Barca is a bigger team. So all of those things are there: the finance, the structure, the intensity, and okay, look at some people are saying Arsenal in the Champions League are different from Arsenal in the Premier League. That one way or the other, Arteta is using handbrake in the Premier League and playing flowing football in the Champions League. The compactness, you can't be practicing with Premier League. Let's say Premier League is our practice field now, it's training field now, and come to the Champions League and not deliver. Because the people you are even playing with in the Premier League.
Because the testing in the Premier League.
Can you compare Kariat Amati with Nottingham Forest?
Or Karabakh with Crystal Palace.
So even the coach, the compactness, the low blocks. let me use the word low blocks. At some point, I think earlier this is Arsenal were relying on throws and corners because the low block is too much to even penetrate. So, but look at Champions League. Everybody will believe I'm a big team. Let me come out and then better teams do win the Champions League. Once you're the better team, you can win. But in Premier League, believe me, you can be the best team and still lose the game.
Yeah. We can play a perfect game, and at the end of the day, we are still the losing side. Let's talk about how they finished. So, Arsenal, okay, credits, finished top. Actually, 100% record. Played 8, won 8.
First of its kind.
You know me say you go
First of its kind.
Don't overplay.
No, that's
wait, calm down. We are giving you the credit. Just calm down.
No, nobody
just
will take it now.
Just calm down. Played 8, won 8, credits. Let's move on.
Thank you very much.
Bayern Munich second with 21 points. Liverpool third, Tottenham fourth, Barcelona fifth. I mean, even out of the top 4, we have 3 English teams. Come on. And then Chelsea 6th, Sporting Lisbon 7. Wow, that was a beautiful one for Sporting Lisbon. And then Manchester City 8th. Now let's talk about the teams that are in the playoffs. Why the playoffs will be interesting. We have Real Madrid we have Inter Milan, we have PSG, we have Newcastle, we have Juventus, we have Atletico de Madrid, we have Atalanta, Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia Dortmund, the former finalist just 2 seasons ago, Olympiacos, Club Brugge, Galatasaray, Monaco, Karabakh, Bodo Glimt, and Benfica. Those who have gone home already, Marseille, PSV, Union Saint-Goloa, Atletico Bilbao, Napoli, Ajax, Eintracht Frankfurt, and all that, Okay, now, so let's talk about how the playoffs may shape up. This is looking like the playoffs is going to be hot. I mean,
I'm telling you.
The teams are Real Madrid, Inter, PSG, Newcastle, Atletico de Madrid,
Dortmund,
Leverkusen.
Last season are in the playoff actually. PSG and Inter Milan.
Wow, that's hot.
That's serious.
That's serious.
That's huge.
That's crazy. And when you look at it, 2 finalists of 2 seasons ago, Real Madrid and Dortmund.
I'm telling you,
This new
playoff,
format.
we may have a tough fixture in this playoff than even the round of 16.
This new format not send anybody.
No.
Just collect money. Anybody can
Not by
collect.
name.
I mean, last season you could use 11 points and you still didn't make it to the playoff. This season, just 9 points qualifies you to the playoff. That's an interesting one for the Champions League. This format actually, honestly, I had mixed feelings when this format was introduced, but as I think
It's proven to be nice to be good.
it's getting what UEFA wants more competition, and I think they're kind of getting it right now.
So something that UEFA has done, maybe that may avoid what happened last season of Manchester City against Real Madrid, is that they have seeded the knockout teams, seed and unseeded. So that makes the seeded teams, the big teams practically are seeded. Real Madrid and Inter will not meet each other. PSG, Newcastle will not meet each other. Juventus, Atletico will not meet each other like that. These guys that are seeded will not meet each other. So is that Real Madrid or Inter against Bodo Glimt? So at the end of the day, looks like the big boys will still be in the round of 16.
Yeah, definitely. I think they want it for the money.
Let me ask you guys now, what was your best game of last night?
Oh,
Or the final night of the Champions League?
my best game of last night has to be that
Madrid.
Anatoly Trubin.
That's been the moment for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, at some point they didn't know they needed a goal.
One more goal, yeah.
I think it was close towards the end of the game.
That they realized that
they needed one more goal to qualify. And towards that, Madrid already knew they needed to actually keep it at that scoreline, or else they were going out. So what they got the final. I think for Real Madrid, their players, Raul Asensio and Rodrigo, they need to be.
What in the name of God was those red cards for?
I mean, those were unnecessary red card. You could for Rodrigo, for Asensio, okay, I knew, the player was going to go one-on-one.
Yeah, but then for Rodrigo, just losing your head like that and getting red carded.
I think the reason why he lost his head was because the goal Trubin wanted to play the goal kick, and then Mbappe took the ball from him. Like the ball was in the air, and Mbappe took the ball, scored, and the referee blew that that wasn't a goal. And then Rodrigo actually lost his head. Okay, that why did this? And
indiscipline.
So he got red carded, and now the set piece, final game, final end of towards the end of the match. Okay, you needed all your players to be in the box.
Now.
And then I saw Mbappe waiting for counter attack.
Even Vini that was like
They didn't
Vini that was like the first man in the line of defense for Real Madrid was just looking at the ball. He didn't even make an attempt. He didn't hustle for the ball.
Wow. It is what is your moment of last night.
That's it.
Diving into that one too.
Not embarrassment.
That was a charity game. No. You know, for a football fan, as an Arsenal lover, I love our games actually. But for a football lover, even I still enjoy Chelsea, Napoli too. You know, Chelsea coming behind to 1.
So you agree that your game was just one of those drop ones?
No, it's a charity match. But I still like some moments. My Kayava, the Cobra is back. Giving them the Cobra.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that's a roundup for the group stage of the Champions League. And one thing is sure, in tournaments like this, there are actually practically 2 tournaments. That you did well in the group stage doesn't mean that you go ahead.
Liverpool can relate.
You blink in the knockout phase and you're out.
Yes.
We saw that happen with Liverpool last season. They were the best in the group stage and they blinked against PSG and they were out, even at Anfield. So the group stage is over. Congratulations to the 8 teams that have qualified to the round of 16. But then when we get to the round of 16, it's definitely going to be a different.
Can I say one thing? You win 8 games doesn't mean you won the Champions League.
You win 8 games, you should be credited. Then let's go to the knockout. Football continues now. Then there's a team that's not even in the competition at all.
We are talking about
that are making.
We are signing out, ladies and gentlemen.